while
Like
moving?
the hit rating I have is pretty crazy right now. Like I have 10% hit and the 5% for tier 3. So at this point, I just got this today. So at this point,
That's
Band of Fury
15 though, right?
or DFT, yep, or DFT can come off. But keep in mind, the set bonus is not on white hits, only on your
Yeah, but
ability.
for taunt, just for taunt reasons, because isn't it 15% over?
No, we have 0% hit to taunt,
It's
except for the
spell hit
five.
on taunt.
Yeah, so the
Ooh.
5% on taunt. That's only for the. Wait, there's two set bonuses I'm talking about. There's two different hit set bonuses. Take a look at that. You have the one for Sunder Armor, Heroic Strike, Revenge, and Shield Slam. That's 5% hit. The 5% hit for Taunt and Challenge Shout. That's 5% only for that. So that's spell hit. So that's completely different. So the 10% hit I have has nothing to do with the set bonus itself. So if I take it off, I'm still at 10% hit. The reason for that is there's a lot of items that get that hit. If you look at the chest piece, you get 2% hit for Dreadnought's chest piece.
Yep.
Shit's fucking
One for the
huge.
cloak, one for the fucking shoulder.
Bow. And then I have 2% on ring, 2% on DFT. So this ring can come off now, and or I mean, not ring. Glyph of deflection can go on for DFT if you wanted right now, but that's used
Yeah,
to
but only
lose
you have.
dodge and stuff. But right, but it's pretty good. And then Band of Acuria can come off instead for that other ring for where are you?
What is the stat priority for
The
tanking?
fallen defender.
What is the stat priority for tanking?
There
Stam.
kinda is none. It's like you need to watch your hit and defense. There's a wiggle room. There's not like oh, if you don't have this hit, it's going to statistically lower your DPS. It's not like that. It's there's some wiggle room, and that's why there's so much debates when it comes to tanks, because some people be like, oh, full 40 defense. I like to stay alive. I don't want to get crit, and then bam, I'm dead, and the raid wipes. Or some people are like, oh, just play it. It's okay to skirt the fucking line a little bit. You get crit, the healers will keep you alive. That means you're outputting more threat. The raid can go heavier. Like, there's
Say that on Patchwerk. I want to see you get one shot.
right, like there's room
Please,
for that,
please
for
get hit for
wiggle room, I
15k in a
guess.
single hit.
But people
15,
people
more like 30.
I love we debated on the forums about it. People like, oh, you can't get crit by Patchwerk. Yeah,
What?
you can, and yeah, you can. You can't get hit by a
Crushing
Sable
blow,
Strike,
crit at the
but you
same
can get
time.
you can get crit by his fucking shit. So, oh,
Oh no,
Rizuli, a Signet of the Fallen Defender, huh?
say I already meet the requirements. I got the 440 defense. I got the 9% hit. Then
Then
what
it's
should I
all
replace?
stam. Stam is
Oh, it's
everything
okay,
at that
okay.
point.
You can kind of go for like crit just for extra DPS, but there's no reason.
Also, if I have less than 9% hit, right? If I do taunt and stuff, will we like miss, or is it like a different kind of?
Hit rating does not help taunt. There's only spell hit rating helps taunt in the game. There's only two items we'll ever get. Well, one of them is a set bonus. If you look at the Dreadnought set bonus, that, and then the only other thing is from Zolgarub, and it's a blue trinket. And in reality, I probably would be using this for Four Horsemen.
So how do I
That
make sure that
Pagel.
my taunt doesn't resist?
How come?
So how do I make sure that my taunt doesn't resist and
You
stuff?
You
don't.
don't.
Oh
If it
shit.
does, you're
Good
fucked.
luck. Yeah.
No, no, no.
Well, if it
Actually, if
does,
it does, everyone else is
And
fucked.
live, it shouldn't be resisted.
In
it'll
It'll still
some
resist
get
it
Four
live.
resisted.
Horsemen, if so, say
It'll
you're tanking
resist.
Four Horsemen and it resists, you sit there and you wait until it doesn't resist. That is the reality of
I
the situation.
don't. I don't do that. What I do is if my taunt gets resisted, I mocking blow. As soon as mocking blow wears off, he's going to run back to the original tank. The tank can go back though. The tank can go back to what he to the safe spot. So I mocking blow. Tank starts running. The mocking blow wears off. The boss starts running right to the tank. I challenging shout him back to me, and then I wait for challenging shout to wear off. And as soon as he goes to run back to his tank, I taunt again. If I get another resist on the taunt or any one of those, the mocking blow, challenging shout, or taunt, yeah, it's a wipe. At that point, you wipe. There's nothing else you can do, but you can save a taunt resist. But there's you could wait it out. You could do a taunt if it resists. Just wait it out. Hopefully, you're expecting to improve taunt for that. Um, If you wait it out and it resists a second time, tank's gonna have to shield wall and just wait it out, and then hopefully shadow protection potion in the middle of it.
Oh,
But
so it's kind of RNG, right? When you get
a
the taunt.
little bit, yep.
By the way, will we ever go to the Impale spec? Because I
You
know a
can,
lot of
yeah.
people are debating about it. Like from what I've
What do you
seen,
mean, the
just
Impale
doing
spec?
research and shit.
You certainly can. I personally don't even feel it's higher threat. I really don't. I think it's actually lower threat. The loss of shield slam when you get to tier 3 gear is insane. It's just ridiculous. So your ZG enchant starts giving shield block value. Shield block value also increases your threat. So you have that. Dreadnought glove starts giving it. You got high shield block value on the bulwark. You got quite a number of pieces of gear that start giving the shield block value. So, and then of course this bad boy, Glyph of Deflection that I now have. If you pop that trinket, it's a use trinket, you shield slam
Mhm.
harder, a lot harder. There's a lot more threat. And then of course with Stylenes, there's a lot of items you start getting with block value. Shield slam, I honestly believe is going to be more threat than Impale. So you go Impale, all you're getting is deep wounds, which is okay. You get Impale, which is 20% more crit damage. So 20% more crit damage. You're losing the 10% one-handed damage from the fucking bottom of Prot. Concussion blow is amazing, even in Nax on a lot of fucking stuff, even in boss fights. You lose your shield slam, obviously. You could lose your 5% fucking crit depending on your build. It's pretty stupid in my opinion. Let's see, shield slam. Bam, 298. The shield slam, which is pretty fucking hard right now. 298 non-crit.
Wait, yours is only 298. Mine says 340.
Oh no, I'm talking on the heroic training dummy.
Oh, okay.
There's 413 now because I procced the trinket. So this trinket is actually a lot of additional 839 crit with the glyph of deflection procced. Yep. So to see 298 is what I hit on this thing without glyph of deflection, but it's actually an increase to threat.
I feel like some of these things, like the Impale spec, would have been good if
284.
we weren't in the 111 or later patch where they
That's
buffed
what a
the
lot of
fuck out
people
of
are
defense.
saying.
Because that 111 patch made defense, like defensive spec, worth doing. Prior to that, not as much.
Yep. So glyph of
Which
deflection.
is why the, was it, 31515 is a meme spec kind of thing. Like it was a cookie cutter for a reason, and it was because of that prior time frame.
Yeah. 34.88% chance to block.
Speaking about threat, right? You said that after defense and hit, you should go for stam, but shouldn't you like go for more damage for threat generation or something?
It's a good question. No, because you won't have the chance to do that. If you have 440 defense and you have your hit cap, there is no wiggle room. There's nothing else you can even do. That's like impossible. But if you could do it, I still would go stam. I still would make the choice to go stam at that point. You get plenty of strength and stuff from other stuff, and honestly, attack power is not that much. It doesn't add much to your threat. It really doesn't. Strength is nice because it adds to block value though as well. So it helps shield slam. It helps you block some more damage. It's
Thing
nice,
is,
but stam is overall
Stam gives you more life,
greater.
and the more times you get hit, the more rage you're gonna get,
It's a
and that
higher
means the more
prio than
abilities you
strength.
can use.
Okay, so let's see. 590 crit.
That's why it's hard for like a full prot to go off tank, because you generate no
294.
rage, so you
So
can't do anything.
294 without it. So if I got rid of all my rage, come on. So 294.
Not changing stance to getting rid of your rage. Then
Keep 25.
Yeah, I keep 20 with this build right now. Is it 20 I have with this one? Yeah. Okay. So my build I have 20. So I'm gonna go in here right now. Ready? So reality, I would pull a boss like this, hit him, blood rage, right? I could pop my trinket, glyph of deflection, then shield slam, boom, 836 crit. Do you know how much fucking threat that is right off the bat? Especially if it crits.
1600.
Boom. 413 shield slam. So I'm adding like an extra 100 damage minimum to the shield. I mean to the
And
shield
now
slam. Yeah.
we know why it's always more fun for the DPS when Nick tanks.
Hey, fuck off! I generated enough TP.
I know these tricks. I
like
try to
giving people
teach it,
shit
but
for
this
random stuff.
is a good discussion to have for sure.
Oh no, you absolutely like want to have these kind of discussions, and I'm
Hell yeah, man.
there.
Yeah, block value. People don't get it.
We have only we have lost a lot of the ones that were, I want to say, questionable. That I like legitimately every time that they were main tank, my response was just, oh, for fuck's sake.
Can't
And
teach
for
it.
those who might be
Yeah,
in
I'm glad
Warlock
he
chat,
left.
you know who they are.
No, Liv, you know what the funny part?
What's that?
When I
I'm
was
glad
making
that
fun of
manly fuck's
Hathos,
gone. Fuck him.
Who's
He's
when,
also a
gone?
piece of shit person.
Who's
What,
gone
you're
now?
talking about me now?
No, this dude named Manly. He used to tank in this guild. I actually
What
don't
the
like
fuck
him
happened to him?
as a human being. I do not like him. Like I don't. He's terrible as a tank,
he
and I
left.
do not like
What?
him as a person. I would rather
Did
let
he
him die in
leave
the
or
street.
get punted?
Didn't he
Faked.
leave because he has
So
work or
he
something?
ha ha ha. Yeah, right. Funny, right? Calls me
20
into a
hour
voice chat. Hey,
work?
can we talk real quick? Calls
I
me to a voice
remember that.
chat. 15-minute conversation about how I got a promotion, all this stuff. And I was like, oh, well, congrats, man. Take it. You get a nice pay raise, right? Do some research. He's in that other guild, full of shit. Raiding on weekends too. Full of
Really?
shit.
He's still in this
Scumbag liar.
guild?
Oh, and
Discord?
Well, you know what? I'm kind of
well,
happy
they're
he's
not
in that
raiding
other
because they're guild.
guild because
Yeah,
he couldn't output threats, so those motherfuckers ain't killing shit.
I like how they're like, we're taking this
they're not
back
raiding
to
because they
mode.
don't really have a guild. But I was like, so
Well, I
about
mean,
that work.
the
Look at this.
the
So about
players.
that work. Turns out you are part of that other guild. It's one thing to leave; it's another lie and spy. Goodbye. Funny how you all think you have the moral high ground. Yeah, you are the worst of the worst, the unreliable, the unappreciative, worst of all scumbag liars. You act as if this guild has or myself have wronged you in the past when we have done nothing but support you. You guys aren't even a blip on the radar, so leave if you want to leave. No one wants you here if you don't want to be here. Best of luck with your 2-month guild. And then I link him the message from the other dude that wanted back in the guild. So I just rubbed it in his fucking face, and he hasn't responded since.
I
Ever since
find
I've
it.
caught him in his lie, he hasn't
See,
fucking
I leave
responded.
on fucking vacation to go to some like fucking gay pride gamer fucking thing,
Oh, how was
and
that?
everyone fucking leaves.
Any smellers?
Much less gay this year.
No, Lim, it was
It was
It was
actually
all the
really
weekday.
fun. But, sorry, go ahead.
it was the weekday Raider.
Yeah,
I
the
think
weekday
the only
Raiders.
original one left
literally all the
are
weekday raiders is what left, basically.
pretty much. There's like
Not all of them,
3 of
but
us
yeah.
left.
Like, good riddance.
The
God
problem
damn,
for
dude.
me is that like the time that they did the weekday raider shit, it was either like I was, just waking up or about to go to work or something, and it's like that's just a terrible time to do it. Honestly, though, of the people that left, only Niz was the one. Like, I gave him shit because the fucking encyclopedia long fucking shit.
And Scrub Express was actually really good.
Like, I
Yeah, the only
Second
one
one
I
I
feel bad
genuinely
of was
didn't
what
dislike Niz as a person. It was
They're
just one of
okay.
those, like, I like to give him
I
shit
just-
for the
I
3
knew
hour
he
description.
didn't belong here, to be honest. Like, I knew he wasn't happy here. Like, it didn't fit his beliefs
Well, I
and
mean,
stuff.
if you're-
So, in the end, that's cool. Like, go find
If you're
something
not
that works
happy,
for you.
then, find, yeah. I was gonna say, if you're not happy,
Yeah,
find something
yeah, that's
that
true. At least he
makes
didn't
it
lie.
rock out.
Like make up some fake fucking story. Like half of them did. They're all like little pieces
did
of
Wayani
shit.
leave on like bad terms or was it
Yeah,
good
he's a
terms?
piece of shit too.
Wait, so
Not a
Niz
fan
just
of
said,
him
I
either.
don't want to play on this guild, then he just left?
Who did that?
No, not really.
No,
it's just
Wayani
like
just left. He didn't even leave
no,
a message.
I spoke with Niz like for a half hour, and I was like, dude, like you're not happy, don't be here, leave. Like, I mean, I know their guild's gonna be shit, and they're taking like a major risk. Not even a risk, it's like a guarantee that their guild's gonna suck. I mean, that's on them, and that's cool if they know it's a downgrade. It's a fucking downgrade, and that's the honest truth. But if that's the risk they want to take to find people that they'd rather be playing with like a different environment, go for it. And you know what? I'm gonna say this straight out: the guild has been immensely better. The raid environment has been so much fucking better when all of the complainers are gone. The people
Well,
that are complaining constantly, and then the people complaining about like an issue, and then we'll address it and be like, hey, yeah, I know people aren't. There's some people in this guild that aren't fucking fantastic. They're not great. I know that, and they won't be hardcore. They won't be dragging us down in life. If they don't improve, they don't meet the requirements. That's it. That's the reality. But we're not going to shun them. Now we're gonna let them practice. Let them try to be the best they can be. That's what this is for. Oh, that's not good enough. Like Tyra was talking shit about that. Oh, guess there's nothing we can do. I was like,
Pyro's
what?
fucking shit.
Yeah,
I still
and
think
he
it's
was
funny
horrible.
that I got SMH.
He was
mad.
horrible.
Fucking
Oh, fuck SMH.
garbage. How the
No.
fuck is he talking shit about anybody?
No, it was
Yeah,
funny
he was
because
fucking
I was
horrible.
messaging him and I was like, "So are you just mad because I became a better warrior than you were?" Just silence.
See, I'm just one of those people. Is like, if I'm shit, just tell me. I'm good. I can deal with criticism. If I'm,
Alright,
I'm gonna
so-
be honest,
horrible or
Werby was pretty
blowing
shit
shit
at
up,
Warlock.
Looking at
like if I'm like
Shield-
the last on the damage meters, fucking say
No,
something. Just
Werby
like,
had some of
look,
the best
pick your shit up.
Warlock gear and was consistently on the bottom.
I'm telling you, there's some really, really bad players and high whiners that left, and that's good. It did nothing but improve our raid environment. It's been amazing.
Hey,
Anyway, Shield Slam with Sunders on. I'm just gonna do a quick test of that. So Shield Slam with Sunders on without the trinket, 380 non-crit, 380 non-crit with Sunders, and now with the trinket, boom, 532 non-crit with the trinket Brock. So it's substantial. And then if you happen to get a fucking crit, it's a noticeable fucking threat increase. And then of course it's a survivability. 1066 shield slam crit just got. So, and I've used this in PvP. When you PvP as prot, it's actually pretty damn fucking good. And block value, of course, it's more about a survivability thing. It's more block value, more about a survivability. If you wanted to test it real quick, we can do like a duel, and you can just wail on me while I block, and I'll show you the difference between the damage that it blocks. The block itself, one of the major things about it is you cannot be crushing blowed. You cannot be hit with a crushing blow if you're blocking.
No one can blow you.
No one can blow you. And just to clarify what a crushing blow is, there is a 15% chance that a boss will hit you with a crushing blow. That is, you cannot
Is that a
reduce that
crit?
at all. That is not a crit. It's a good question. So if you're
It's what, 25% or 50%
50.
more, not the double.
double is crit.
You can get rid of it, but it requires having your 103% avoidance or something weird like that.
Oh! If you're talking about you can't possibly be hit, sure, okay.
No. There's actually, if your block value plus parry value plus dodge value all add up to be 100 and
what you're saying now?
102?
What you're
Or
saying
is that
now
later?
is
Is that a later thing?
It's correct and. Okay, yeah, the avoidance thing is important. So
It's the uncrushable. because
crushing blow
I remember
crushing
that
blow
being a thing, but it was difficult as shit to get.
is a 5% chance per level above you. Every raid boss is 63. You cannot reduce that in any way except by not being hit. So if you block, if you guys don't know how block works, like if someone hits me for 2,000 and I block, my block value then determines how much damage that's going to be reduced by. So if I get hit by 2,000 and I have enough block value to reduce it by 300, I get hit by 1,700. If you block, you cannot be hit by a crushing blow. That is why block is so important, and that is why shield block is amazing. It adds to an amazing amount of survivability. Dual wheel tanking loses that. Dual wheel tanking can output more threat, but you can't block. You will be hit by crushing blows. And then there's people that dual wheel tank, and they're not defense capped, and they get wrecked. In reality,
I
it's
can
not going to work
dual
all that
tank
well.
progression
So-
and that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for about 12 seconds, and then a real tank takes over.
Pretty much.
Oh
so
no, they won't take
when
over
you
because you'll
pop
deal more.
shield block,
But you're
you're
gonna die.
guaranteed
No,
to block.
you're dead. Therefore, another tank is now taking over.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Snuppy, do
Sorry,
you have
Nick,
to
I just
inspect?
had to
Snuppy?
clarify
no
some
worries.
things here.
I do, I think.
Exactly what I meant by someone else is taking over.
Go ahead and leave your group if you can. Just want to see your spec real quick. The shield block guarantees the next 2 swings on you if
Oh,
you're
by the way,
spec
Nick,
for
if
it will be blocked. The next 2 swings.
I'm
That is very important. Huh?
I'm just I haven't respec right now. I'm just
Oh, gotcha.
the normal few respec.
So when you do respec for prot, if you want to inspect me, improve shield block. Make sure you only put 1 point in it because it's worded weird. Allows your shield block ability to block an additional attack and increases the duration by 0.5 seconds. The next rank says allows your shield block ability to block an additional attack. It's only 1. So the 3 points means 1 additional attack. 1 point means 1 additional attack. So you only want 1 point in it, so you can block the next 2 attacks with that. And that's really, really, really important for survivability. You time it with some things like some ball, like a Gluth, for instance. I was timing it with his frenzies. He'd frenzy, starts doing more damage, attacks faster. Wham, 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 more damage, attacks faster. You shield block for that. Try to reduce the damage so you don't get hit by a crushing blow. Again, a crushing blow is 150% of the damage, so it's 50% more. So if he's going to hit you for 2,000, now he's hitting you for 3,000. A crit is double damage. The crit is the when you're below 440 defense, you can now be crit. It's 0.04% per defense point under 440. So if you're 439, there is a 0.04% chance that you're going to be crit. So it's very low, obviously, in that case. But you get crit by something like Gluth. He's frenzied, and he crits you, and all of a sudden he hits you for like fucking, instead of 3K, he's hitting you for 6. And then wham, wham. If that happens twice in a row, or crushing blow comes next, you're done. And frenzy, his attack rate is pretty much boom, boom. So it's like 1.5 seconds. Boom, boom. And if you don't get a heal or bubble in between that, you get 2 crits, you're done. And shit like that happens. And as a main tank, I don't like that being on my shoulders. The raids count on me to fucking stay alive. That's the first thing I should be doing, is staying the fuck alive. And my threat output is fucking pretty damn fucking good for the amount of survivability I have. And I honestly believe an Impale build is less threat. I really do believe it. In this gear, an Impale build is less threat than full prot.
That's
You
only
just get
because you have the trinket, right? If you don't have the trinket,
no, even without the trinket, honestly. And I just got that trinket today. The amount of block value you get in this stuff is great, and strength adds to block value. And the strength in this gear starts going up and up and up and up. It gets pretty goodified. In addition to that, Thunder Fury is not a high damage weapon. It's not. It doesn't scale well with Impale. It doesn't scale well with damage. Its threat, the reason why it's so good with threat is it's fucking proc. Impale means nothing. Impale means shit. Its proc can crit, but it's spell crit, so it's less than 5% chance. It's not going to crit. You don't rely on that. So the thing that scales the best is your block value in this case. So Shield Slam gets really, really fucking good, and it gets, it's a good threat output. It really is, and people underestimate it. And your priority, there's no rotation for tanking, obviously, but your priority should be revenge always. If revenge is proc, you always use revenge. I know people get turned off by it when they're like fucking 30 damage.
Basically, revenge, shield slam, and then heroic strikes. Throw a sunder on every 15 seconds or so after you hit 5.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you that,
Pretty
like,
much.
when you initial pull,
Also,
boss,
another thing, if you're gonna get rage capped, just hit another sunder. Also, because you never want to be rage capped, especially while tanking. Like, even though that sunder won't generate much threat, it's still more threat than if you got rage.
do you ever get rage cap as a tank?
Yes.
There's
It's very
bosses where you
rare,
do,
but yes, you will.
some bosses like Patchwerk.
I always hear tanks complain they don't have
Nick,
threat. They're rage
that fight, I almost broke my finger because I was spamming literally all 3. They were always like on cooldown, and then it was just heroic strike.
Yeah, you get a lot of rage. So some fights like Patchwerk, you get a lot. You fight in Gluth or something, he does his frenzy, and you don't have the tranquil shots aren't happening, or there's not enough hunters to kind of get him tranked all the time. You get some good threat. There are fights when you're rage starved. You have to choose if you're going to use that heroic strike and sunder. Like for instance, I'll get a revenge proc, right? I'll revenge. Revenge is now on cooldown, and I'm heroic striking at the same time as that revenge, because revenge is will trigger the global cooldown. Heroic strikes on the next swing. So I'll heroic strike, revenge. Revenge won't be up, but shield slam's up. So now I shield slam, heroic strike. Now heroic strike. Now shield slam and revenge are both on cooldown. I only have Heroic Strike to use and Sunder. So now I'm Heroic Striking and Sundering because my threat, I mean, my rage is really high. Maybe it's like 50 at this point. And I can't use Shield Slam, I can't use Revenge, but I still have a lot of rage. I'm above 50. Heroic Strike, Sunder. Okay, Revenge just came back up. Revenge, Heroic Strike, Sunder. Okay, I have enough rage still saved for the Shield Slam that's going to be up in 1 second. Shield Slam, Heroic Strike. And you gotta really get into that rhythm of knowing what ability to use and when. And it's so hard to teach. Like what I just told you is the best I can do. It's so fucking hard to teach. It's like you use Revenge if it's up, and then you use Heroic Strike at the same time if you got the rage for it. Revenge is on cooldown. Your global's up. You have enough rage for Shield Slam. You Shield Slam. You Heroic Strike on the next swing as well if you can. If not, you let that be a white swing instead. You let it be a white swing. You hit the Shield Slam. Now you have enough rage. Shield Slam's on cooldown. Revenge is on cooldown. You have a ton of rage that just came in. Heroic Strike Sunder. Heroic Strike Sunder again. Revenge. Heroic Strike. And then it's like it's so hard to teach, but it's in my brain. Like I know what to do, when to do it. I know what ability to use, and
Well, it's not
I don't
really
know.
hard.
It's like years.
I understood it. I understood it. I did.
Good shit. And then I'm glad to hear that because it sounds like I teach it so bad. It's just so hard to.
Basically,
No,
it's
Neg is right. There
four
is no way to
skill.
really teach it. You just gotta
I know,
kind
I
of
know.
experience.
It's just practice,
You
right? It's
can-
just 4 skills. You have your Shield Slam, your Sunder, your Heroic Strike, and your Revenge. And you just use Revenge and Shield Slam on off cooldown, and then Heroic Strike when you have extra rage, and then just Sunder as well.
Yes, and heroic
no.
Sunder is used obviously to keep the 5 Sunders up, and as
Yeah,
a
that's right.
filler when you can't Shield Slam and you can't Revenge, then you're Sundering.
Exactly.
That's for your threat. Obviously, you still have other abilities like Demo Shout, your Battle Shout. You're gonna want up. Shield
Sometimes
Block again is
disarm.
really good. Yeah, Disarm's actually pretty damn nice, especially on this server. It's like working on bosses that I feel like
I don't think
you
the
know
disarm
that
actually works
don't
because like you can
work.
disarm Patchwerk, but I don't think it actually, takes away his. It makes
what?
the hook go away, but I think he still hits for the same amount.
Like when I say I think I'm like the best tank in Classic, I'm not kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. All right,
Also,
like
use
I'm
Dragon Breath
fucking
Killer.
serious, and people are like, "Oh my god, what a stuck up 1052 crit."
Oh,
Fucking
that's why
amazing.
I'm asking you, man.
Well, thank you.
Okay,
I'm glad
so
you came.
by the way, wait, which skill shares the global cooldown? Revenge and Heroic Strike, right?
No, Heroic
Yeah,
Strike doesn't.
Heroic Strike is on a white hit. Check this out. Duel me.
Yes.
It's like whenever
Oh,
you're
we're in
hitting
combat.
something.
So yeah, it's
Oh,
on a
okay.
it's on a white hit. So it's whenever your weapon is gonna swing. So that's why you want to use it like a ton, and don't ever use what you just used. Don't ever rend.
No, it was
There's
an
only
accident.
okay. There's only one fight you use rend, and it's Major Domo in Molten Core. That's it.
And that's just
Um,
because there's literally nothing else to do.
Actually, it's to help when he does the blink. It pulls it back to Nick.
Yeah, when he blinks, when teleports me to the middle, the rend sometimes is enough to pull him back. It depends. Like you can't judge it by the healers. Like the healers might crit a heal somewhere, and it's like, oh fuck, that rend's not gonna help enough. Sometimes it comes back. Sometimes it's like I get ported and his threat resets, and then a rend ticks, and it's enough to pull him towards me, even if it's for a second. It could be for a second, and then he pulls to someone else. That's a second closer he gets to me, and it's easier to pick up. So rend is actually nice for that. But I don't use it for anything else, and obviously for raid bosses, even if rend would help with threat, it won't. I wouldn't even use it because of the debuff. It wouldn't be worth the debuff. Major Domo is not a DPS target. People aren't killing him. I could do whatever the fuck I want to him. So I run the shit out of him.
You disarm him, demoralizing shout for.
Yeah.
Next, something we really need to test come actual classic are these fucking spell power. Because some of them, if theoretically they scale with spell power, not just like rogue shit, would be fucking insane. The pole arm off of Ambassador Flamelash from BRD, it's like a chance on hit to give you a shield, and it does like an AoE around you, like 171 fire damage, all nearby enemies. If that's scaled with fucking spell damage, that would be absolutely insane.
What are we talking about?
Like any of these items that give you like like elemental damage on your hit. Like there's a one that like if it actually scales with your spell damage would be insane for enhancement shamans that like adds lightning damage to your melee attacks. Like this shit would be insane, and we need to test it come actual retail.
Oh yeah, let's test it. Good
Uh,
shit.
do you
But,
guys know if the tier 0.5 is gonna be
It's not.
It's definitely not going to be. No,
It's
said it
part-
wouldn't be.
until
They've
what?
literally said it's part of one of the phases. It's like part of phase 4 or 5.
Wait, are you talking about 0.5 gear? It
Yeah.
comes out in phase 5 when AQ drops.
So
There will be items that
Connor?
dropped before, but
So this person that's supposed to be like the best fucking tank. Oh, everyone's like, oh, he's so good, so good.
Who?
Absolutely, like Skirm or something, saying like the
Skarm
fucking
tank.
saying that 420 is the defense cap, 420
Yeah,
is
that
the
guy's
defense
a
cap.
fucking moron.
That's what people
Who would
were
listen to
saying.
him?
That's what people were saying. I don't know if he said it, but people were quoting him saying that
Yeah, he
420
has
is
a
the defense
video
cap.
of it.
I don't know. Oh, maybe if he's got a video. I don't watch people's
He
stuff.
put a fucking
So,
retarded video.
He's
up
saying
with
that
dumb shit.
apparently. Again, I don't know. I had to make a video to prove people wrong. I want go watch that fucking video if you care. But like these are the agreed upon best fucking tanks giving out information that's just absolutely wildly incorrect. And then there's other people out there like quoting them and saying Russian PvE people told them and like crazy shit. Huh.
When you were saying something like Condor, were you trying to say Kungan?
Kangen?
I don't know who that is.
Okay, not classic,
Okay.
but in vanilla, he's arguably the
Wait.
best tank back from vanilla.
Okay, get some rage. Get as much rage as you can. And then we'll
are
proc a
you letting
revenge.
him?
Wait, get as much rage as you
Also,
can.
Snoppy, what's your health at?
Don't expel any rage. It's definitely bugged.
How come your Sunder armor wasn't I like Sunder you 5 times, it didn't stack or
No, his health's not bugged
Missed.
because it's the same for me.
It's bugged because I haven't hit him. We talk about the 6,500?
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Why is his health so?
No buffs.
and I wanna join the 7K club, bro. Flat.
Got no 7K flat.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
you have 6.5.
That's good. No buffs. That's
Okay,
not
so
bad.
I'm
With
gonna
the
do my
gear he's got.
rotation and see if I do enough threat.
Wait. Get as much rage as you can so we can do like a full rotation type of thing,
Okay.
and we can do a
The best way
proc
to
some
know how to
revenges on you
generate a
too.
lot of thread is do
Dungeon tanking, in my opinion, is harder than raid tanking sometimes.
exactly because it's mostly
Yeah,
AoE
and
tanking.
Connor,
and it
dude, I don't
fucking
know
sucks.
who that is, but I'm talking about the private server pros that are absolute fucking like
Oh, okay.
vegetables, like fucking rotten watermelons. They're like the stupidest fucking useless fucking shit on the planet. I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
I'll give him this
They
though.
just make
You do
shit
gotta
up.
kinda give
420 defense is the cap, except for Chromag and Neff. It's just the cap for
Yeah, why didn't it
everyone
affect
else,
those
but
guys?
Chromag and Neff, it's 440. Why? Oh, I don't know.
Okay, I have full
No,
rage.
had to prove him wrong. Okay, so you're
Russian
gonna block
PvE people.
and you're gonna proc. You gotta proc revenge. When you proc
mean-
revenge, you're gonna want to revenge and heroic strike at the same exact time. Then when your global's up, it's gonna be revenge and shield slam. It's gonna be revenge and shield slam.
Right.
Then you're gonna see you can't use either, so it's revenge. It's heroic strike and sunder. So again, it's heroic strike revenge, then heroic strike shield slam. Then it's gonna be heroic strike sunder, or heroic strike shield slam. I mean heroic strike revenge if it comes back up. If it comes back up in time. If it's not up in time, then it's gonna be heroic strike shield slam.
Do I prioritize Heroic Strike more than Shield Slam? Or
Say-
do I do Heroic Strike first?
No,
Say-
shield slam.
Shield slam
anytime
would
you get-
take prio. Shield slam
Okay.
would take prio. So if you don't have enough rage, like you have to choose that sometimes. Like a boss is not giving you enough rage, you're not getting hit enough or something like that. Sometimes you do have to choose that. Be like, okay, I'm just gonna shield slam. I'm not gonna heroic strike. Honestly, my rule is like if I'm above because shield slam's 20 rage. So if I'm above like 30, I'll usually shield slam and queue up a heroic strike right away because I usually get enough rage from the hit from the boss in between that. But if you're like 40, you definitely should be using heroic strike with something. Heroic strike, shield slam with something.
Well, because you said that I should heroic strike first, and then revenge, heroic strike, and then shield slam. So I thought like heroic strike is the.
That's
Oh no.
yeah, that's a good question. So heroic strike is not the prio, but that's the prio if you're getting a lot of rage. Like you're tanking a raid boss hitting you pretty hard, like sitting in Nax. That's gonna be the prio because you're gonna get a lot of rage, right? Things usually hit you kind of hard. You usually get a fair amount of rage, but revenge would take the prio over heroic strike, and shield slam would take the prio over heroic strike.
But
So
you will use heroic strike first if you have more rage, right?
well, use them at the same time. It's not really first. It's kind of how
Oh, okay.
I just
I
do
get
it. My keybind, like I have 1 and 2. 1 is heroic strike, 2 is sunder, 3 is shield slam, 4 is taunt, and 5 is revenge. So it's always like 1-3, 1-5, and that's kind of what I do when I'm using both. But it doesn't necessarily have to be queued up first. But heroic strike is used on the next swing. So if your swing is 0.5 seconds away, if you don't queue up that heroic strike, it's not going to go off. So heroic strike is not an instant attack; it's on the next
It's your
swing.
auto
So
So
attack,
you will
yeah.
hit them together if you queue heroic strike first.
yeah,
that way.
you can. Yep, you would pretty much hit them together. So like watch, my next swing is in. There's a swing. There's the normal swing, and now heroic strike is on the next swing. So I can queue up heroic strike as soon as my next white swing. Like right now, it's not going to go off until the next swing.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
It's also why you're going to be spamming heroic strike a lot. Get ready
Yeah.
to break your finger.
Yeah, that's why heroic strike, like something like a patchwork.
Get like a padded keyboard or something.
Oh no, I'm just saying because like eventually you will get to the point where that button is going to get worn the.
So that's when you get like an auto clicker type of thing going.
I should have for Patchwerk. Dude, the only
don't-
way you could generate more threat on that fight is to use a dash.
By the way, for me,
And I still don't know
Shield
if that would
Slam.
actually beat fucking Thunder Fury.
It's the same if I use Bloodthirst, right, instead of Shield Slam, because I'm a Fury prot.
It's not a lot of threat, honestly. Bloodthirst. Bloodthirst is a good filler when you have a shit ton of threat. But so Fury Prot, are you the Fury Prot build? You still get Bloodthirst, and yeah, you would definitely want to use Bloodthirst. It's not going to be as much as a Shield Slam threat wise, but if you have the Rage anyway, you're sitting on the Rage. It's like okay, I can either let it slowly hit Rage Cap, or I can use Bloodthirst. Bloodthirst is extra
Right.
damage. It's still going to be threat because all damage is threat. Let me pull you once. Whoops.
Some threat is more threat, but
Well, I'm saying like I should just fit the Bloodthirst into this rotation.
Definitely, yeah.
just
You
like
you
how
would
I put Shield Slam.
just like you use Shield Slam. Yep. But keep in mind it costs more rage.
Oh, okay.
also you're going to be in a different
Okay.
stance. I don't know if Fury
Jesus.
off tanks ever go to defense.
Go ahead, tank him. Shield Slam when you can. I mean, not Shield
Oh,
Slam.
you don't kill him, please. He doesn't have buff. He's gonna get one shot.
Do a shield wall when you can. Dot mod
Shield Wall?
HP.
Okay.
Hold up. Fuck the shield wall. All right, you should be good now. What's your health?
7.1k.
Try now.
Shield Wall?
What's your health right now?
Oh shit.
Okay.
5 million?
Actually, Nick, can I
Okay, good.
test
Go
that
for
for
it.
you?
Alright.
Go try to tank him. So watch like the rage you would get for something like this. Like, do you see that shit? Like, you get hit really hard. I mean, obviously you're taking both, but you're taking both the heroic strike and the normal strike, so you're getting a little bit more rage. But there, Fipster, go stand on him. You should be getting hit too now, right? Okay, yeah, Fipster's getting hit too now. So you're still dumping your rage pretty damn quick. You're still getting a lot of rage from this guy, right? So, Snoppy's fucking health dropped back down.
Must
No, if
use
it's just
the-
taking damage, that means I'm
Yeah.
not tanking well, right?
You're supposed to definitely take fucking damage, but
Shit,
yeah. So,
I'm not
There were
doing
some
enough
problems
threat.
though, because
in
I
a
was
fight
catching up to
like
him on
this, in a
threat.
fight
He
like
doesn't
this,
have TV.
you would never not heroic strike. You should never get a normal white hit off. You know, everything's gonna be
Yeah.
heroic strike.
If
It's the
I'm
same
gonna
for
correct
Trinity,
this
it's like,
only
Bam!
because it's different if you're 3 tanking. If you're 3 tanking, then there are times when he just doesn't attack you, and you're
That's
gonna get
fine.
rage starved
That,
for like
that's
30.
fine. Your threat means nothing. You can have 0 threat and you're still fulfilling your job in that case. The reason for that is because there's technically only one tank for Patchwerk, while the other tanks there, the 1 or 2 tanks there, they're taking hateful strikes. That is not based off threat. That is based off
Right.
who has the highest current health.
So
That's
Fib
next to
should
him.
never take damage, right? Because I have like
No,
freaking
no, 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 no.
5
So he
Oh.
hits me because I have the
So-
highest health.
Fipster
I have
should
5
take
million
damage
health.
because, well, it's the highest health person
That's
other
not tanking.
than the dude that has threat. So because you have threat
Oh.
now, so watch this. You have threat, but you have so much more health than me. But bam! As soon as I step into melee range, I am now a target for him. But
Okay, I
Wait,
understand.
Nick,
I
here, hold
understand.
on.
It's the
I got this.
second. It's the second. Sorry, it's the highest
Whoop.
HP guy who isn't the primary target, right?
yes, unless the primary target is alone. So if you're there alone, you're also going to take the
Oh,
hateful strike.
yeah,
Alright.
That's why you can't really solo tank it. And if you try to solo tank it anyway, any melee DPS on the fight would be taking the hateful strikes. And that's why we step in the green shit so we
Roger.
can reduce our health. And when we reduce our
That's
health
why
like that,
druids are really
Nick,
good for
I'll
that
solo
part.
tank it if you let me borrow.
one of the good things about druid tanks is they have very, very high health, so they're more likely to be targeted for hateful strike. In addition to that, hateful strike cannot crit or do a crushing blow. So they're really good hateful strike tanks, absorbers for it, but they fall off as warriors start getting more gear. So when you first get into an axe, like you first start an axe, a feral druid that is geared from AQ40 would actually be a better hateful strike tank than a warrior at the beginning. In our gear right now, we actually surpass the druids pretty much. We surpass the druids in this gear. It's just too much survivability we get from the dreadnought that a druid would just, that's it, they're a healer at that point. So eventually druids, honestly, they become like permanent healers because
Wait,
too
Nick,
many
give us
warriors
3 of
do good
those.
shit. I'm not giving you glaive at defender, fuck you.
No, no, no.
Wait.
Give us give each of us one, and then we can all 3 tank. I
No.
bet you we can solo kill it.
Can you do math?
Okay, okay.
We
So-
cannot
Yes.
solo kill it.
We can solo kill it.
So if I tank and
It's
Fib
great
dies, means that I'm tanking right? So I'm doing it right.
Say again? I'm sorry.
If I'm tanking and Fib dies, means I'm doing it right.
Well, ideal. That's not
It means the
ideal, but
healers are
yeah, I
doing
mean,
their job.
Hell yeah, Fib died just
I mean,
now. That means I'm doing it right.
what? Yeah. Go ahead, go aggro him right now. We'll both
I'm not
jump
trying
in.
to piss off Bucky, but that's exactly what it means.
Okay. Watch now, Fifster. Let's run in there. I should get hit first. Let's go
I have more.
together
Oh
right
wait,
now.
you have more health than me. Shit.
Let's go together. Okay, bam. So I got hit first because I have more health, and now Fifster's going to take the next hateful. He survived it, and he should take the next one again, and there you go.
Dead.
But that's how it works. That's how that mechanic
Oh
works.
yeah, I did it, man.
Oh
That means
yeah.
I tank it right.
Don't bring him over here,
I
run.
died.
You're taking right. You have 5 million health. Nah, but this
Basically,
fight is
what I'm
bugged no matter.
doing is I'm just doing heroic strike and revenge, like priority, and then heroic strike and bloodthirst when revenge is not up, and then when both is not up, I just do heroic strike and sunder. Basically, that's it.
Also,
got it.
remember, as a Fury, you're almost never going to be main tanking. It's only
I
ever
know,
going to
I
be
know,
off
I know.
tank, so you won't have to worry.
I finally feel like a big boy now that I'm tanking the boss. Not some
Big
small
boy.
boy freaking
I'm a
hitting
big boy.
up his ass. I'm a big
Alright,
boy.
now we gotta
Manning up.
copy next DPS.
Look at my fucking damage on this stupid GM.
I wonder what the threat on those things is like.
Nuts. As soon as I turn GM off, I pull aggro.
Well, yeah, 'cause you have 2 of them, but I wonder what one does. Do you think you could get away with that one raid? Just like have one person bring one?
It would
Just
be
don't
a
bring
funny
your GM.
joke.
It's like, hey, why is that guy's Thunder Fury look off? Oh, don't worry, it's a new enchant. Then you just see the threat skyrocket to 300k.
See what my damage looks
Zach,
like.
can you do your rotation on your main on this guy so I can like see on stream exactly how
Sure.
you do your rotation?
It's gonna be a lot of spamming buttons, especially
but-
for Patchwerk.
Let's see what
Loot him!
pass you drop. Oh, there's the plague
Oh
bear.
yes, take it.
The plague bear is
Nappy, I swear to
actually
God,
really good.
if you take that, I'm gonna kill
No, I won't.
I'll just delete it
Just
from you.
greed
Don't
it.
worry.
you. No. Hey, I was up late, okay, and I was part of your testing.
it.
He won
Oh,
it.
you
What?
son of a bitch!
I want it.
Alright,
I
It's
just wanted
actually
a
not
different shield.
that good over the AQ shield.
I
I
just
would
want a
still
different
equip it
looking
though,
shield.
personally. The
Looks
armor,
sick.
the block
It
is
Like,
looks
4.
sick.
do you see the scarab? It does not match this set at all. It looks
Yeah,
like pure
exactly.
garbage.
This doesn't matter. Look at this retarded shit. Look at this fucking
It
thing.
looks
looks
better than a
amazing.
scarab.
Looks like a
It
freaking
looks like
coffin.
Shrek that's thrown up after a night of like drinking and
Okay,
shit.
Nick,
What
hold
is,
on.
what is that?
You gotta admit, it looks better than this goddamn scarab.
I don't know. I don't know if it looks better. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'd rather have the fucking Beetleborg.
It fits the look.
All right, deleted
The
my
undead
shield.
look.
All right,
Okay,
Oh,
show me.
damn
so
Do a commentary as well.
all
Your
right,
Fip has to
here we
learn
go.
as well.
Do commentary. Okay,
What
so
am I doing?
all right, I have max rage, right? So here we go. You're starting to fight with a crazy fight like this where you're getting this much rage. It's always going to be heroic strike. You're never going to use an attack without heroic strikes. All right, so here we go. Heroic strike revenge, heroic strike shield slam. They're both on cooldown. So heroic strike sunder, heroic strike sunder, heroic strike revenge, heroic strike shield slam, heroic strike sunder, heroic strike sunder, heroic strike revenge, heroic strike shield slam, and then 2 sunders. That's pretty much how you can do it if you have this much rage. I mean, this is not very common. So it's actually easier to tank like this than it is to tank when you're not getting
Main
much
boss.
rage, because there's no. So it's a little harder when you're not getting this much rage because you have you have to choose. You have to choose like what to do, like what's the right ability for this at this time, right? And keep in mind during this in a real raid, I would be using shield block as well. So that's you want to save rage for that when threat's not an issue. Like maybe the fight's been going on for 30 seconds, you got a good amount of threat right now, and the boss is not hitting all that hard. You don't really have to use shield block, but there's times in bosses where they'll frenzy, right? And if a boss frenzies, you wanna time it with that. And I also time it on like Broodlord Lash Layer in third boss of BWL. He has a Mortal Strike.
Boom.
It's hard to tell when it's gonna come, but like I get a feeling for it. Like you know it's coming soon. I will always try to shield block right with it, so I can reduce the damage of that and stop a crushing blow from happening along with that, so people can get try to top me off. It also reduces the heals you receive by 50%. So you want to use that right after to give people a chance to maybe you get healed after, but it's only like 1,000 heal because of the reduction, and they put you up enough, but a crushing blow is enough to just kill you. It kills you a little bit, and just over what you have. That shield block can save your life. So timing is very important when it comes to the shield block usage. Then there's some fights like Patchwerk. You should never not use shield block. It should always be used to be up 24/7 as much as possible. Obviously, he'll consume it more than you can have it up. Like you'll see it comes up, gets consumed, and it's gone, and now it's back up. But you want to use it as much as possible. And Glyph of Deflection, let's see. When he hits me. 460 blocked. It's just not bad. It's not a bad damage reduction, but again, the shield block's got like an extra use, which is the fact that you cannot be hit by a crushing blow or a crit. So 455, I'm blocking with the trinket procced, and only 220. Only 220 when it's not proc. So the Glyph of Deflection is substantial. It is fucking huge. 220 is still good though. It's not bad. So you hit me.
Okay, can you summon a boss that doesn't like give you so much rage, and then you show me a rotation? If it's possible. Just an example. Because obviously we don't get this all the time, right?
Yeah. Do Gar. Okay, like in this gear, Buffhogger, Gar. In this gear, he's really not gonna hit all that hard. Okay, here comes
You
Gar.
shield block as well if you need.
Okay, I wouldn't need to. Okay, Revenge right away procced, so I'm gonna use that. Gonna Blood Rage. Shield slams right now. I'm obviously going to apply Sunders at this point because I want, DPS. Missed that Sunder apparently, which shouldn't have been able to. There's Revenge. Sunder. I'm using Sunder early on as a higher prio because of I want to apply my 5 Sunders to help the DPS out. And then also the Sunders actually help your threat as well. So I'm not getting much rage now. So I have to pick and choose. See, my rage just went up a fair amount. So there's a Heroic Strike. Shield Slam, I just used the Demo Shout and Shield Block up. Heroic Strike again. Going to Shield Wall this because I don't have a healer and my health went down. Shield Slam's up, Revenge is up. And Revenge has the best, it's only 5 rage, so you don't really need to reserve rage for it, and that's just going to come up. But,
See, that's so easy to teach. I don't understand why you say it's so hard to teach.
Alright, well, I'm
I'm
glad to
learning.
hear you say that, honestly. I'm just buffed Gar with
turn,
War
my
Chief's Blessing and Rallying Cry and Songflower.
All right,
Holy shit, it's
core
hitting
run.
hard. Do you ever run raids in the least optimal conditions? Not intentionally. But yeah, a raid comp has been like 16 melee and some fights are just like nuts, yeah, Cthulhu was pretty hard with a ton of melee. Not on purpose. We want to do like realistically. What are we after? Um, we have a phase 3 coming up on our server, which is going to be a final phase, which is going to be level 58. So we're going to go do dungeons. We're going to earn whatever gear we can, and the gear is randomized first. It's going to be random greens, random rolls, whatever you get, and then you go do dungeons. You go do your attunement. You go try to get whatever gear you can get, and then the following weekend, let's go do Molten Core. And there'll be some 58s, there'll be some 59s, some 60s, and we'll see. We'll see how a Molten Core goes with that, like a simulated Molten Core, like a rush Molten Core, right? Should be cool.
Okay, so one super important question. When do you ever use taunt?
When you should be tanking that mob, and you're not. Like, I
Okay.
should be tanking that guy, and there he goes. Like, you better fucking taunt, But
So
you
it's
don't
kind of like an
taunt
emergency
normally.
thing, right? Kind of like an
Not
emergency skill,
not
kind of.
necessarily emergency. There's polls when like for instance, on Four Horsemen, you were there. You'll see how
Yeah,
once
I know.
always taunt on that poll. You always taunt. If a boss can be taunted, fucking taunt. There's a reason for it, and there's people. The ability is actually worded wrong. If you scroll over, taunt, and I love my or Flamemaker, and you see what it says. It says, "Oh, it does nothing if the mob is already on you." That's actually wrong. Taunts the target to attack you, but has no effect if the target is already attacking you. Wrong. If you taunt a target that is already attacking you, watch this. Come here for a second. Let me see. Come get some rage on one of these fucking stupid mobs. Get rage on this mob. Here. The Zanzel. Let's get as much rage as you can. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, let's kill this fucking thing. Okay. Now I'm gonna go aggro this thing, right? The Zanzel zombie. And the second I aggro it, hit it with like a shield slam or something, or bloodthirst, or whatever you got.
Okay.
Ready? Let's go. Let's go together. I'm gonna taunt him. Alright, hit him with something. Boom. See how he's still attacking me? That's wrong. You cannot pull off of me if taunt is still afflicting the target.
Oh wait, he
So
was
even though you
attacking
had
me.
more, watch. Let's do it again. Watch this. And go.
Taunt.
See?
Oh
Not
yeah,
on
yeah,
you,
you're
not
right.
on you, not on you, now on you. So, it actually has a use. I aggroed the mob, right? Then I taunted it, and you did threat to it, but it didn't pull
Right.
off to you. Watch this. Let's do it again. I'm not going to use taunt this time. So I body pulled it, and boom. The second you hit him, he's on you, because you
Right.
have
Right.
immediately more threat than me. So, if I taunt a mob, even though it's already right now it's attacking me, right? Like it's attacking me. Let's do that one more time. I think.
I think I understand the concept. I do.
So taunts. They do work if they're still attacking you. So if you go to body pull a boss and the boss is tauntable, fucking taunt. Like right off the bat on the pull, because it'll guarantee that someone else does not pull off you for 3 seconds. And that might not sound like a lot, but it's very important for initial threat.
Yeah,
So
because you get rage too.
yeah, you get rage. The thing's hitting you. Heals are going off already. People are bubbling you. They're DPSers are already doing stupid shit. Fucking so like you pull the boss, you taunt it immediately. Even though you like on 4 horsemen, all 4 tanks should be taunting their target immediately for the pull. And you have 3 seconds. You output threat. When that taunt wears off you, if someone else is higher on threat, they're gonna pull. They shouldn't be. It's 3 seconds into the fucking fight. The tank should definitely be higher on threat. He should then pull his 4 horsemen to his corner, should be good. But if you don't taunt on the pull and you're trying to like white hit, you might hit them and you might get the highest threat, but someone else might heal you and they'll pull off. Or maybe you miss your attack and they go. But the taunt is an extra thing to help secure him to you for at least a couple seconds. That's good.
Okay, so you always do that on every pull, or is it like only for 4 horsemen?
If the boss can be taunted, I do it.
Okay.
Almost no boss in Nax can be taunted. Almost none.
Also, you
But
can
that's the
use it
same.
if you know that like casters or someone is going to blow off cooldowns, just to secure.
Yeah, so like if we're DPS in the boss and it looks like someone's about to pull off a boss that can be taunted, like I know they're about to pull off me, I can taunt to secure it for a second and get some threat back. Hopefully they slow up, you know? You can do that. Broken Tooth looks really big. Looks bigger than normal. But yeah, you can use it on ads, normal trash mobs and next. It doesn't have to be bosses, of course.
You
There's
also
a lot
use
of
it when
tauntable.
you lose threat, right? Like
Of course,
example,
yeah.
like
If someone
yeah,
pulls off
okay.
you, Anubricon tonight. The ads, those are tauntable. That those mobs actually use a complete threat drop when they web people. They run off. They run off, and you have to taunt real quick. As a tank, you can get the web and then taunt at the same time. So as soon as he webs you, he's gonna turn and try to run to someone, and you got to taunt at the same exact time. So it's web taunt, and you pick him back up before he gets out of your range. But if he does get out of your range, there should be another tank ready to pick him up and kind of pull him back. But you could also free action potion, and you have to free action potion before the web, the free action potion.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but it still drops threat. So he'll try to web you, he'll drop threat, but you'll still be able to be free to move to pick him up. One of my tips for those guys is to don't tank him all the way back like you normally do. Like if I'm fighting this guy here, fight him like this. When you're fighting that dude, get in him, like get inside him. So when he webs you to run, you're in range longer. Because if
I
he
see.
runs away from me when I'm here, he gets out of my range easier than if I'm here. So that's a good tip for that. But if you ever want to try to go prot to tank in Nax, let me know. You can definitely get some good practice.
Get inside him. That's how I like it, man.
Hell yeah, get inside him.
Okay, so
By the way,
one more
Snoopy,
question.
just to answer your other question,
Okay,
the
what
if
question
you're a
was it? I asked a lot of questions. Which one was
no,
it?
the one that Neck like just answered.
Okay.
If you're a prot tank and you have the boss on you, no one should pull on you because you generate that much threat. Being a Fury, the reason why you're such a good off tank is because when a prot tank doesn't have aggro, they generate almost none.
Yeah,
Like
they have
it
a
is
hard time
very,
outputting threat.
very
So
difficult to generate because you have no rage.
Prot
And
Fury is
as a
pretty
Fury,
good.
circumvent that. So
Okay.
So what was your other question?
Okay. So on 4 horsemen, right? And then there were like a couple of bad pulls because of blood rage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So because oh wait, you don't need rage to taunt. Okay. You
Correct.
always taunt first. Oh, I see. Because I was wondering like how do tanks taunt without rage? I mean, sorry, like get aggro without rage.
It's a good question. Yeah. Thankfully, yeah, they don't need rage to taunt, but that's the problem. For 4 horsemen is a bit of a unique situation. There's 4 things that got to be picked up immediately. It's got to be perfect, and they got to get to their corners in time. So it's definitely a bit of a unique situation. Um, but yeah, a blood rage at the wrong time can definitely fuck shit up for a lot of people. So
so
and it
what do you
was
do
it was
if
fucking up for us.
your Discord installation is corrupt?
the fuck?
Because
I
there
have
was
no
so
idea.
many bad pulls because of like blood rage. Like, stop blood raging
Yeah,
before
we
you
had
pull.
to we
Like,
had to drill that into people. There were tanks doing it too, thinking that it's different, and they were doing it before the pull. But when it's still
yeah,
active on you, that's generating threat, and that is enough to pull the boss because there is there's initial threat too. When the person who aggroes the boss will get a little bit of an initial threat, the ticking blood rage is not going to pull the boss off you. Like Patchwerk, if I body pull him and someone has a ticking blood rage, it's probably not going to pull the boss off me before the boss gets to me, and I'll be okay. But for Horseman, someone who's initiating the body pull gets the threat bonus for one of the Horsemen. The other three he does not. So a single rage point from a ticking blood rage will pull them, and it'll fuck everything up. So you really, 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 really got to be careful for it. Just 2 seconds. Just be careful, and
You
uh, and be good to go. So there's so many little fucking tricks and stuff that I know and I implement on so many different boss fights that I know so many people don't know and so many people are fucking wrong about. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like I am probably the best tank out there
yeah.
in
Like,
classic
how do
WoW
you
on these private
you
know
also
servers.
that
shouldn't
blood
rage
rage?
pot on some pools. Because some of them you need like stone skin, or like if you're tanking, fucking Mograine, like you want a
Yeah,
fire pot.
Like I honestly believe it, and people get so mad when I say it, and I love it. I
how do you
love when it makes
know
them mad.
about blood rage generating threat? Like, there's no description saying that. Like,
Yeah, it's a good fucking question. Trial and error, a lot of practice, things you pick up, type of thing. It's like you pick it up over time, and then like if you ever try to go look this stuff up, so much of it is fucking wildly incorrect. 420 defense is the cap for all bosses except for Chromag and Nefarian. What? And that's from one of the like most popular tanks out there. It's fucking wrong. It's the stupidest fucking shit.
Well, he's actually trying to deceive them then.
Oh yeah, maybe that's his goal. I don't know. Do they know about Mocking Blow on Four Horsemen? What about it specifically?
That it doesn't actually hold threat.
Yeah, so
It
taunt,
doesn't give you
Mocking
the threat.
Blow. Yeah, so the way taunt works is, let's say I've been taking a boss for like an hour, right? I'm just sitting there an hour. I'm immortal, whatever. You come over, Snoppy, and you taunt him. You
okay,
now have my threat that I gained for an hour. You have that now. You actually have the same threat I have, but you're above me. You'll be above me in threat because you now have threat, and the boss is aggroed to you. I need to go over your threat to pull the boss. A good amount over a good percentage over your threat to pull off of you because you already have it. So that's uh that's like the unique taunt mechanic for the ability taunt.
oh, really?
There's an ability called Mocking Blow, which you can
Okay,
only
yeah,
use in battle stance. And if your taunt ever gets resisted and you really need to pick that boss up real fast, you can switch Mocking Blow them and then go back to defensive. The thing about Mocking Blow is it will
You lose
not
it.
give you the threat. It'll only make them target you for 6 seconds, but as soon as that wears off, they are going to go back to the highest threat target, which is almost certainly not going to be you. I mean, maybe in those 6 seconds you got above it in some situation, whatever. So you got to be careful of that. And the same thing applies to challenging shout, the AOE taunt. Ugh, challenging
yep,
shout.
yep, yep.
It when that wears off, it's going back to them. So challenging shout, it's actually important for AoE to go pretty hard in some situations when I was like, all right, I'm going to challenge and shout. You challenge and shout. It's like, go ahead, AoE, kill these fucking things. And if they don't kill it in 6 seconds, whatever threat they, like, let's say I challenge and shout something and then a mage is just blowing that thing
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck up.
exactly.
When that
Yeah,
wears
it's
off,
gonna generate a lot of threat.
that mage's threat is way above mine, you know?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's why taunt is unique. And when it gets resisted, like it gets resisted on four horsemen, and you really need to pick that horseman up, you can switch mocking blow him. But as soon as that 6 seconds wears off, he's gonna run back to the other tank that's across the room. When he goes to do that, you can challenging shout him back to you. And when that challenging shout wears off, then you taunt. Yeah, and you have to time the taunt when the challenging shout wears off or the mocking blow wears off. If you taunt while the boss is still aggro to you because of mocking blow or challenging shout, it will not work. They will
You just
still
will
run
not work,
back.
Like, is
and then you
that
will lose.
why?
Justin, do you mean the thing whereby you said you will get threat because of taunt? If you still have mocking blow, the unique thing about taunt won't work. Or it just
Correct.
won't work in like the whole thing. Like you won't even freaking get the 6 seconds.
Yep, that's correct. So mocking blows, let's say mocking blows on the horseman, and then I'm like, fuck it, I'm a taunt just came back up. I'm gonna taunt him. I taunted him, and I'm like, great, sweet, it hit this time. As soon as mocking blow wears off, that guy's gone. He's just gonna run off. Taunt's not gonna work. And yeah, people make that mistake. I've done some tests. I wanted to test it on the beta test. I forgot to actually test that. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same thing. And I think that's kind of where the wording of taunt comes into place, where it has no effect if the target is already attacking you. I kind of think that's what Blizzard was going for, but it does have an effect. We kind of went over that, but it doesn't actually give you a threat bonus. It doesn't put you over the other person's threat. So it's a bit dangerous, but sometimes you're better off just waiting for the taunt cooldown to come back up and try to taunt the same horseman a second time. But there are like a kind of emergency situations, like this dude's already been here. Like if I go to taunt and a resist and he's all right, he's only got 4 marks, I might wait it out and be like, okay, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna taunt. If that resists, fuck it. Mocking blow, let him run, get out of there. Mocking blow ward off, challenge a shout, wait for that, and taunt again. If that resists again, it's a wipe. There's nothing else you can do. You did your best. So
Okay.
sometimes you just get fucked.
By the way, is this loud?
Well done.
So
Okay,
mocking
it's
blow
not
and
then.
challenging shout is just so that you can taunt again. And when you taunt again, you get the threat. That means
Yeah.
you're all set.
When you
Yeah.
taunt, you get you get the threat that he had, and then whatever else like you do afterwards. So if he has
Do the
10k and then you taunt, you will get 10k.
will the previous
Next.
the previous
Huh?
guy, the tank, lose the threat, or will he also
No,
stay?
he
Like,
He'll
doesn't
still
lose the
have
threat.
his threat, but he'll be right below you now because you actually have the aggro. So he won't lose his threat.
Is that why a lot of guilds actually start with what's the name?
P
Dual wielding tank, and then they switch to a mitigation tank on some fights? Like,
Wait,
What
that's
for the
what's why.
no for like
uh,
what he's saying is like the
for,
dual wield
for
tank
getting
to output as much threat as possible, and then the
Oh, and
actual
then
tank.
the prot tank taunts off him. The
yes.
mitigation one? Yeah, yeah. No, you're right, but I mean, on a lot of bosses you can't even taunt them. So it's like Broodlord you can, fucking Razor Gore you can't. There's so many Veilstraws you can't.
And
Fucking there's so many bosses you
the
can't just do
bosses
that
that
on,
you
and then
do,
almost all of Nax you can't taunt.
plus like the bosses that you can taunt, there already is 2 tanks, and threat's not usually an issue. It's more when
Yeah,
taunting.
yeah, and if the boss is tauntable, it's like okay, if someone pulls aggro, I'm just gonna immediately taunt it back real fast. They can hold up for a second. So I
Or
don't really
even
see the need for the dual
DPS.
wield. Huh?
The only fight that I could see that being relevant on is maybe Broodlord, but you can't even taunt that.
Yeah, you can't. This horse is yelling.
But just to have like that guy generate as much threat as possible before he dies, so the DPS have a lot of room. Maybe. But he's gonna die like super fast.
All right, I'm getting out of here for the night. I will
Later,
catch
man.
you schmucks tomorrow.